Hey, Servant listeners, Love is Blind, Season 4, After the Altar. Let's watch.
I have a lot of mixed emotions. Monica and I had got engaged. There's nobody I want to be with. Monica, will you marry me?
Yeah, I think I remember reading about this. I think the producers even confirmed this at some point. It's ringing a bell. Yeah, I don't remember all the details, but I do remember thinking they should just show us this stuff, especially when it comes to Josh. He becomes a major player later on in the season, and it's important to have this context, right? We even heard from Natalie, right? Natalie and what's his name? I can't remember the guy's name, the blonde, tall guy that was really upset that he didn't hit a home run during their bachelor party. Anyway, the guy that people email me and think there are apparently videos of him. What's his name? Okay. Love is Blind, Natalie, and Shane. Shane was making some live streams and apparently was giving some signs that he was on some sort of psychostimulant like cocaine or something else. We can't know that for sure, but the bit I saw, it seemed like something was going on. I can't diagnose from afar. I don't know. But anyway, so we heard from Natalie that, was it Natalie, that she had 2 other people that she was interested in seriously, and then they just never, and those pod conversations were just never included in the show. You know, I just feel like it would be helpful to know that stuff, because if we never found out about it, I don't think it would be a problem. But when we find out about it, we're like, well, so what else aren't we seeing? And it just, you know, I get that they have to edit for time, but, you know, I think you could show little snippets or something. Anyway, and I remember reading an article about 2 Asian American women who were proposed to or engaged or something, who were not permitted to go on to the honeymoon phase. And there was speculation about racism on the show because Asian American people are rarely on these shows, and if they are, they rarely are focused on, that kind of thing. And I think that's a thing, but the producers of the show, I can't remember his name, but he was saying that he wasn't saying specifically what was happening, but he was saying, well, sometimes we will not ask someone to move on to the next phase because we believe that they're not truly invested in the marriage and are only trying to get to the next phase. You know, you can imagine that, right? Someone goes on the show and they're not really there to meet someone, or they quickly determine that there's not really anyone here that I really want to marry, but I do want to go on the honeymoon. I want to be on the show, and I'll just go to the altar and I'll say no. So the producers, at least they're saying that they don't want to subject other people to those kinds of clout chasers, and they don't want to demean the show. They also don't want to have to edit around their shenanigans as they're going forward on the show. And maybe there are times when they have some false positives and they will kick someone off the show who is legit invested, but the producers are trying to play it safe or so. I don't know. I tend to trust the producers on that. I don't know why I trust them in that way, but I obviously have no data that I remember. So I wonder if this is that situation that at least was being talked about. Now, I don't know. Maybe this woman was absolutely legitimately on the show. She absolutely wanted to marry Josh, and all the accusations are bullshit. That's also completely possible. I want to stand by my Asian American sister from Seattle, and not just jump to conclusions. We know the producers lie about shit all the time, so who knows?
Absolutely, I will marry you.
Finally.
I know, so good to meet you.
I mean, another possibility, and it's just all speculation, that the producers thought, well, maybe she's into it, but there's too much ambiguity, and it's just best if we don't. I think another speculation was that Josh was saying really toxic things, maybe racist things, I don't know, but we could imagine, right? Even if we believe Josh is a good person, we can imagine him doing those things, because I think when he gets nervous, he gets real weird, really awkward. Like there was that scene where they had that party in South Seattle, and they were at that bar, and he showed up drunk, and he was like getting literally in the face of Marshall. And at the time, I was just like, oh my God, because I think that's when we first met Josh, and I was just like, my God, what a D-bag. But then over time, I started to think that, and I think he even said as much during some of these episodes, that well, I don't know if he said this, but I was wondering if he has a lot of social anxiety and deals with it by over drinking, and also by trying to come across like an alpha. And he might even literally be indoctrinated into that cult on the internet of young men who have this weird cult mindset about alphas and betas and all the other stuff, that I could go down that road again. There's a period of my life on this podcast where that was a pretty big chunk of my content, was talking about incels and MGTOW and pickup artists and red pill and, toxic masculinity. It was, I don't know, maybe in the late 2010s, 2016-ish. And I made a lot of episodes about that. I don't anymore, so I don't know. I'm glad to talk about it, but I feel like I've said all that I want to say about it. And I've had all the arguments with people online, men in this community that will try to get me. And I'm like, you can try to get me, but it ain't going to work. You can believe what you want to believe, but I think I understand what's happening. Anyway, so for Josh, I think another speculation was that they didn't have this couple on, not because of her, but because of him.
Thank you.
I love this for us.
I love this for us.
Things didn't work out. I was like, pick me.
Yeah, you actually, oh my God. Lord help me, Jesus
I was
Christ.
like, shit. You thicker than a bowl of oatmeal.
Well, that would have been interesting to watch, the whole scene. We're seeing bits of it now. It's, looks awkward, at least the way they're editing it. She doesn't seem to be receiving it very well. Do they just break up right here? Is that what happens? It kind of looks like that's going to happen.
You have them in your back pocket, like these freaking jokes. Here comes another one. I'm engaged to a lunatic.
I confess how I...
Oh, I wonder if it was a different Asian American woman that was kicked off the show because they thought she was a clout chaser. I don't know. But that looks like she is being, if you were a clout chaser, as they say, I don't like using that word, but I feel like that's the only term I can use. But if you were truly like, I'm just here to get to the end, I just want to be on the show, I don't care about this guy. You think that if you were truly in that position, if you met Josh and he was weird, and I think he's insecure, I think he resorts to a lot of awkwardness when he is scared and he doesn't know what to do. Plus, it's an incredibly awkward situation, even for the most socially adept individual. So anyway, if you were truly on a show, just be like, yeah, I just want to get to the end, you wouldn't exhibit, you would try to game the situation. You would be like, yes, I'm totally in love with him. And then when you go home, you look in the mirror and you go,
In your back pocket, like these freaking jokes. Here comes another one. I'm engaged to a lunatic.
I confessed how I felt about Jackie, washed my hands, keep it moving. And I was cool with Monica the whole year. Hung out with her, Jackie and I.
Okay, so according to Josh, he's saying that, because they're engaged, right? Just because they don't go on the show doesn't mean they're not engaged. Right? If they're legit in love, they'd be like, well, if the show doesn't want us, who cares? We're still in love. Let's get married. Maybe not right away like the show wanted us to, but let's be together. So Josh is saying that eventually he told her how much he was into Jackie. So I'm going to take a guess and say that after the pods, after the honeymoon, Jackie and Marshall are fighting. Jackie is maybe calling a lot of people, including Josh, and saying, oh my God, things are falling apart. And then maybe, hey, let's date. And then Josh at that point says, yep, okay, Monica, I'm done with you. I want to be with Jackie. So is that what happened?
Rubes, we were all kumbaya. Because Jackie and her were very close. They were best friends.
Are you okay?
Well, that's a twist. So Monica and Jackie were best friends, yeah, in the pods. Okay, interesting.
Or anything. No. And I talked to Jackie and I said, hey, in a few days I'm going to post about my engagement. And I feel like Josh, just didn't really want to talk about the fact that he was engaged. But I'm like,
You should be able to tell that.
yeah, I don't think they want me.
Okay, I'm confused, but I don't know if it's important that I'm not confused. But she was saying posting about her engagement. That implies they're not in the pods because they don't have their, of course, and they can't post about that because they are under contract. So I'm confused.
I guess the first thing I want to say is that I love you and you're one of my best friends, and I'm not exactly sure where we went wrong or what I did.
I'm just hurt because I did truly love Monica.
Okay, well, that's promising that Jackie and Monica can both lead with their hurt because that's usually the foundation of everything instead of...
Did it come from me announcing my engagement? Because I felt like I told you.
And your story is valid to say.
Yeah.
I told you that.
I don't care to say that I was engaged to Josh. I just wanted to tell my story.
So I'm lost. So she's talking about announcing her engagement, that maybe that's what bothered Jackie. And I'm thinking to some other random person. And then it's like, no, we're talking about Josh. And so if it is Josh, then if they were not on the show, then she could post about it, right? And why would Jackie be upset about, I don't know. Because at that point, Jackie wouldn't have been with Josh. Jackie would have broken up with Josh. So, yeah.
Everybody deserves to have their story told. I'm not clowning her for that. I'm not upset with her for that. Voice it, that's fine. But don't be messy about it. Don't be vindictive. Don't throw shade or anything. Just say what you need to and go. I'm always pick my man regardless. I'm always right with my man, whether he's right or wrong.
I'm completely lost. So she's saying that, you're being messy with it. Does anyone understand, or am I just dumb? Did I not figure what's wrong with me?
Everything that I said was all I wanted to talk about was just my experience. I don't need people to know that it was with Josh. I don't care.
Josh is just mad at the fact that the blogs are messy about it.
I didn't talk to any blogs, Jackie.
I know. I'm not mad at you.
The what was messy? What did she say? So maybe Jackie isn't upset at Monica, but Jackie's upset at Monica because of Josh is upset at Monica. Okay.
I don't care.
Josh is just mad at the fact that the blogs are messy about it.
What did she say? I gotta look at the subtitles.
Josh is just mad at the fact that the blogs are messy about it.
The blog's so messy about it. Josh is just mad at the fact that the blog's so messy about it. The blog is so messy about it. Okay. So the post that she was talking about. Oh. Okay. If I would this feels good to feel like maybe I have something to grab onto. I don't know if this is what it is, but so maybe after the fact that Jackie and Josh got together, Monica decides to blog about her experience on Love is Blind. And, if you're on Love is Blind at the time of all the media madness, even if you're not one of the people that is being focused on, there's going to be a lot of attention, a lot of speculation, a lot of reading, a lot of da-da-da. And so Monica posted about it and said that maybe in the blog she goes into a lot of gory details about Josh and her relationship. And Josh looks at that and says hey, that's a lot of personal information about me, and I don't like that. You could imagine that for Josh it could be humiliating, right? To be that he proposed to somebody and then quickly drop that person, or I don't know, or I just don't want a lot of personal information. Now you'd also think, well, you're on a reality TV show, but maybe Monica was a jerk face about it. And I guess this raises another topic, which is that if you're going to blog about this sort of thing, you might want to check in with the people that you're blogging about. You don't always have to get their permission. But it doesn't sound like, because it sounds like Monica went to Jackie and said, here's what I'm going to post. And Jackie's like, whatever, or go ahead or whatever. And so by implication, maybe Jackie would go to Josh and say, hey, this is what she's going to post. But I don't know. It's so I'm less confused, but I'm still confused.
About it.
I didn't talk to any blogs, Jackie.
I know. I'm not mad at you.
And then she says, I didn't talk to any blogs. So I think Josh is upset at Monica. So now I'm changing. So I think Josh is upset at Monica because Josh believes that Monica talked to bloggers and they all hated, a lot of people did not like Josh. I don't know if anyone liked Josh for a variety of reasons. And you can imagine that would take a toll on Josh. That would be hard for him. And maybe Monica's a scapegoat for that. That's just a guess.
Respectfully, I don't give a shit about Josh. I care about us. You are one of my best friends. I love you, and I want to make sure that we're always okay. We're the core 4. We can't be the core 3. Please don't cry.
Seems like Jackie's stuck in the middle, being triangulated in a tough position. You can imagine Josh being a little rigid, and Jackie's like just trying to be a good partner, maybe try to convince Josh to lighten up a little bit. Who knows? But it doesn't seem like this is Jackie's fight.
What sucks? I can literally show you receipts. I haven't said anything.
And I know. But it's like weird because
do you know? Like, do you trust me? Because sometimes I don't know.
This is starting kind of to look like Jackie is scared to be herself in this moment. That's the way it kind of looks to me. I don't want to say that for sure, because how would I know? But maybe Jackie, maybe not being abused, but is intimidated into a place of having to reject her best friend, even though she doesn't feel like that's right, that she has to do that.
Why would I want to hurt you, my friend?
Fight.
You should never have to choose between who you're with and your best friend. Otherwise, you're with the wrong guy.
Yeah, I think that's what Monica is referring to. It's not a great thing to say if you're Monica. Especially given the fact that I think Jackie really loves Josh. So, yeah, I think that's a little strong, and I don't know if that's going to go so well. But, yeah, if it is that situation that I was speculating, which I don't know if it is, then, yeah, it would be a good friend to point that out and just be like, if you're being intimidated, and intimidation can take a lot of forms. You can be intimidated by someone just being overtly abusive, but you can also be intimidated by someone else's emotionality and their unreasonable struggle, right? Now, we want to care about our partners and their triggers, but to have it just be like, look, like if I have my triggers, and if when I'm triggered, I become a problem to myself and to my wife, and I just say, look, that's just the way things are. It is what it is, and love it or leave it. That's not okay. It's another thing to say, hey, I have these problems. I'm sorry about that. I certainly don't want to make it so that this dictates your life, but it would be great if you could help me with this. It's a different approach, right? So the first scenario is me intimidating someone with my own traumas and my own reactivity, which is not okay. You are absolutely entitled, of course, to your own reactivity and your traumas, but you're not entitled to just say, look, screw you, you have to deal with it, and I'm not going to work on it, really, and this is just how it is. And in fact, when you trigger me, it's your fault, that kind of thing.
You are one of the closest people that I've got.
Yes, and I don't want Josh to get in the middle of this. As much as I respect your relationship.
And then, of course, the speculations continue to pile up that maybe Josh has some attachment insecurity and is threatened by Jackie having a really close relationship with someone. Of course, don't know that, but just add that to the list of speculations that are potentially possible among millions of other possibilities.
And I feel like I've always supported you and Josh. I never tell you to leave him when you guys go through your shit. Do I need to talk to Josh? Does he even want to talk to me? That man hates my guts.
I don't.
I mean, it's good that Monica suggested that. It's like, do I need to talk to Josh? Because, yeah, it's just, don't put Jackie in the middle. Just maybe if Josh and Monica made up, then maybe that's all that needs to be done.
Why is he even mad at me? Can you go get him? Because I would feel more comfortable if we all sat together. I don't want to talk to him one-on-one.
You want me to get
Yeah, go get Josh.
It's good. Yeah, it's healthy. Instead of just playing games of triangulation, it's like, hey, let's bring him over. Let's talk about it. And maybe Monica trusts that that'll work out.
We'll post that. Nobody, and we were
I'm
cool.
allowed to tell my story, and Jackie knew I was going to post it.
And we were cool with that. But when
And
you're
that's
when
it.
you're
That's
leaving
what
up
I
when
did.
you're leaving up comments like, oh, okay, Josh, bye, Josh from your friend.
There's
That's
like
disrespectful.
over 100 comments. I'm
you
not
didn't,
monitoring
you didn't have to
that.
do that because if I
Oh, so Josh is saying that she was being a jerk in the comments and whatnot. And what was her response to that?
when you're leaving up comments like, oh, okay, Josh, bye, Josh from your friend.
There's
That's
like
disrespectful.
over 100 comments. I'm
you
not
didn't, you
monitoring
didn't have to
that.
do.
There are hundreds of comments. I'm not monitoring that. So is she saying she didn't say those things, or is she saying that she did? And I don't know. I'm guessing we'll never know.
Because
I have a career.
you're trying
Anybody
to clout
could say
chase.
anything.
You're trying to clout chase for no
Clout chase?
reason.
Clout chase?
Yes.
I don't know how you deal with this man every single
You
day
guys
of your
could've-
life.
you guys could've
He's a
talked-
6-year-old. I
you guys
really
could've
don't know how you deal with this. This is
Because you're clout chasing.
Josh.
Blows raspberry. I should leave the subtitles on all the time. I feel like late in life I realized people called it a raspberry. Pfft. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe she is. We're probably not going to get any data. It's hard to imagine that Josh is accurate about this sort of thing. You know, if Josh had said you're a clout chaser because this, right, then maybe there'd be some reason to get behind Josh's assessment of that. But without that, is it just one of those, it's one of those insults that they'll often say, like when, Darcy and Jesse would call into 90 Day Fiance, and Darcy and Stacey and Georgie would call Jesse, Darcy, Stacey, Georgie would call Jesse a clout chaser. They'd be, what are you doing here? And it's like, well, he's here because the producers asked him to be here, and it's good drama, so that's why he's there. So I think it's one of those insults that people say. It's like, you're a clout chaser. You're just trying to get your 15 minutes. Get out of here, especially if you're Josh and you're more of an established person on the show. So is it that, or is it legitimate?
Why didn't you deny it?
Because
Exactly, because you know
deflect because you're such a horrible human being
I
that
even have
you
text
actually have to make things up.
Okay. So Monica earlier is saying, look, I don't have anything against Josh. I just want to move forward in life. And then Monica says something like that. So I think that explains Jackie's face. So I imagine Jackie's like, well, Monica's saying that she wants things to work out, but she hates that guy. She hates my partner. And maybe there's legitimate reasons for that. We don't know. But yeah, okay, well, whatever. Too bad for Jackie.
It's so sad that you have to
See,
deflect.
and now you're trying to say-
You have to deflect
I'm
because
deflecting.
you know anybody can say anything, just like you're saying
Oh,
whatever
okay.
you want to say. Okay, walk away, Josh. Such a child.
Jackie.
Yeah. Is there a possibility that Monica is there to create drama to be on the show? I don't know. I mean, I remember thinking that about Josh when he showed up drunk at that party and we met Josh for the first time. I wondered if the producers, because there was no reason for Josh to even be there, is the thing, from my memory, right? And because not all, anyway, I remember wondering, did the producers want this to happen? You could imagine that. And they might, they have their subtle ways and not so subtle ways of coaching the cast to have drama. So, you could imagine something like that. By the way, where she is walking, I do not believe makes any sense, because I think she's walking south now towards the Sunset Tavern when she should be walking north to the Sunset Tavern. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong.
So,
I don't want to be on.
I've always been told.
Oh, no, I'm wrong. The sun sits across the street, and so there's no shenanigans there. So, yeah. It's interesting. You can see the production crew, the lights and the ladders and the tripods and stuff. You know things are going down when the crew doesn't have time to get rid of the lights and the tripods. You know, there's something kind of dramatic happening as the cameras are trying to follow around the cast members.
Jesus wept. Amen. Jackie out.
you want to go? Yeah. I'll get my mic off. Let's go home.
Well, yeah, they were walking down towards, so maybe I don't know where that bar is at. I thought the Cathedral bar was a block away. I mean, I don't live that far from here, so I'm confused. I'm disoriented.
Bro, this is some bullshit. I'm tired of this drama.
Where did Jackie go?
She's outside.
Oh, okay.
There's... Monica's like, I'm healing from this process. And I'm like...
Marshall's like, I wonder what's going on over here. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't involve Marshall, so I think... Let's rewind that. I love it. I love seeing little reality bits like that.
Oh, okay.
You see it just immediately. Those strawberries look really great. Plus I think they have fiber in them. You know, let's try out some of those strawberries. You know, are they in season?
But you have Jackie. Why does it matter?
That doesn't matter. That didn't. I never. And then she's over here just like clout chasing for what?
Or Marshall is thinking, I don't want to interact with Josh. I'm not a fan. And or Marshall's thinking, oh, this is kind of nice to see. The most dramatic people, once again, are the people that I am not fond of.
Don't accuse someone of clout chasing. Be above it and live your life.
It's just weird.
Take care of your woman and go live your life. That's all I gotta say to you, man.
And, Chelsea delivers, I will say. And the advice giving that she, remember in this season, was talking to Irina and Micah and just telling them seemingly just like, hey, stop it, grow up, knock it off. I mean, not grow up. She was, and that's the thing, like she's good at being assertive and saying what needs to be said, but in a way that's not dickish. It's hard to do. I was thinking that about I was thinking about with Ultimatum, actually, with Kat. She could do that too. I actually admire that in people because I'm not good at that. If I have to say something to someone, I'm going to probably be, I don't know if I'll possibly be dickish, but I'd be more pointed. I'd be less, especially in a social situation like that. I wouldn't be as confident that I could pull it off. You know, to be to the point, but to not pull any punches, but not punch people. You're both not punching people and not pulling punches, if that makes any sense. Okay, well, that's the end of season 4, right? And I believe season 5 starts soon, and they're about to show us bits, and I don't like watching bits. I like to see the bits as they happen. My eyeballs. I don't like, yeah. So I won't watch the rest, and I'm stumbling over my words because it's late at night, and my wife's already in bed. Sometimes I just hit the microphone with my head. All right, everyone, please take care of yourself. Really. I mean it. I'm sincere. Please, think about it. What do you need? When I say take care of yourself, I mean it. What do you need to take care of yourself? Do you need something right now? Is there something you need right now? Sometimes we can't get it, but at least you deserve to know what that is and ask for it, and you deserve it. You do. You really do.